Yes. Have you ever felt like life was just too much to handle? Like you were carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, and no one saw your struggle. Today, we're talking about a film that captures that feeling perfectly, but also shows how faith can bring light into the darkest moments. It's called A Tree for Grandma, and it's a story about love, sacrifice, and the mysterious ways God works. The film introduces us to Michella, a loving Afro-American grandmother whose life takes an unexpected turn. When her grandchildren's parents are declared unfit, she doesn't hesitate. Instead of letting them get lost in the foster care system, she opens her home and her heart, determined to raise them with stability and faith. But years go by, and time takes its toll. Michella becomes seriously ill, and the responsibility of the family falls onto the oldest grandson, Louis. He's only 17. Imagine that. You're trying to finish your senior year of high school, but you're also working part-time at a restaurant just to help pay the bills. You're raising your 3 younger siblings, and you're caring for your sick grandmother. The pressure is immense. Louis is exhausted, worn down to the bone. But he never complains. His grandmother taught him to lean on his faith, and even when life feels impossible, he clings to that hope. It's the one thing that keeps him going. As Christmas gets closer, the atmosphere in the house is heavy. But the younger kids, Brian, Jason, and Sheila, have one simple wish. They just want a Christmas tree. Not a big, fancy one. Just a small symbol of joy to remind them that happiness still has a place in their home. One afternoon, on their way home from school, they spot it. At the edge of a lot, lying among a pile of discarded branches, is a small, forgotten tree. Little Brian's eyes light up. He runs over, convinced it's perfect. His older brother Jason is skeptical, worried about bugs or dirt, but Brian doesn't care. He picks up the little tree, his heart set on bringing it home for Grandma. They burst into Michella's dim bedroom, their faces full of excitement. "Grandma, look! We found you a Christmas tree." Michella, weak and frail in her bed, turns her head. As she sees the little tree held up by her grandchild, her tired eyes soften and fill with a warm glow. Her voice is filled with emotion as she tells them, "Oh, my babies! That is the most beautiful tree I have ever seen." For her, it's not about the tree itself. It's about the love behind it. The children are just beaming with pride. Now, they have a mission. They get to work, gathering old boxes, a mop bucket, and some tape to create a makeshift stand. They decorate their little tree with anything they can find. Ornaments made from paper, stars crafted from popsicle sticks, and garlands made of aluminum foil. They even top it with a paper plate angel. The tree is crooked, it's small, but to them, it is absolutely perfect. It's filled with their love and their hope. Later that evening, Louis comes home. He's exhausted after a long shift at the restaurant, his uniform stained. In his hands, he's carrying a bag of leftover food for the family, his way of making sure everyone eats. His first stop is his grandmother's room, too. He helps her with her medication and makes sure she has something to eat before he does anything else. His younger siblings can barely contain their excitement. They blindfold him and lead him into the living room for a surprise. They even help Grandma get settled on the couch so she can see his reaction. The kids are about to plug in the lights to reveal their masterpiece when suddenly, boom, boom, boom! A loud, heavy knock echoes through the house. Everyone freezes. The joyful atmosphere vanishes in an instant. Louis, trying to stay calm for the kids, tells everyone to stay put. He cautiously approaches the door and peers through the peephole. He sees a police car parked outside and a badge held up to the door. His heart sinks. He opens the door just a crack. A police officer, Officer Bielzid, stands on the porch. His voice is firm but not unkind. He explains that he received a report about some kids taking a small tree from a local garden center earlier that day. Louis, embarrassed by the state of their home, reluctantly lets him in. The scared children huddled together. His expression softens immediately. He kneels down to the children's level and asks them gently if they took the tree. Little Brian, trembling with tears in his eyes, admits they did. He tells them that stealing is wrong, no matter the reason, but he also says, "But I see your heart." At that moment, Louis opens up. He tells the officer everything about his part-time job, his grandmother's illness, the struggle to raise his siblings and keep the lights on. He lays it all out. The officer listens, and you can see he's deeply moved. He looks at Louis with a new respect and says quietly, "Son, I grew up just like you." But, he explains, he still has to take the tree back. The family watches defeated as Officer Beelzebub leaves with their little symbol of hope. The room falls silent. The joy is gone. But this isn't the end of the story. About an hour later, there's another knock at the door. Boom, boom, boom. Louis opens it, expecting the worst. But what he sees takes his breath away. It's Officer Beelzebub again, but this time, he's smiling. He's holding a brand new, full-sized Christmas tree. 3. Behind him are other officers from his precinct. Officer Beelzebub explains that his precinct has a tradition. Every Christmas, they search for a family in their community that needs a little bit of hope. He looks directly at Louis and says, "And God led us to your door." As the officers help set up the new tree, Officer Beelzebub pulls Louis aside and offers him words of encouragement. "You're redoing better than you think. And God hasn't forgotten you." He also gives him a counselor's card to help get support for his grandmother. From the couch, Grandma Michella watches, tears of gratitude streaming down her face. She whispers, "God works in mysterious ways." Psalm 46:2-1. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble.